Hello and welcome to Living Word, growing a family that experiences every promise of God. For more information, visit our website at livingwordonline.com.
You are greatly loved by God. A supernatural, good God. His word is filled with all the promises and the blessings that He has said are yours, are mine. Do you know what He has said? Do you know what He has afforded to you when the enemy wants to come against your finances? Do you know what He says when the doctor's report isn't great? Do you know what He has said about relationships in your life, marriage? When you know the character of God, when you know His word, when you know who He is, when you know He is faithful to do what He says in this amazing book, you walk life differently. You walk confident. You walk knowing that when those things want to come against, you have a boldness that says, not my God. I know His character. That's not from my God. I know His faithfulness. And don't you know, you start to remember those times when God has shown up in those moments, those battle moments, and He has produced, and you have seen the manifestation of His goodness in your life. You know His character, and it causes you to walk life different, right? In Psalm 27:13, it says, What would have become of me had I not believed that I would see the Lord's goodness in the land of the living? Continuing in verse 14, it says, wait and hope for and expect the Lord. Be brave and of good courage, and let your heart be stout and enduring. Yes, wait for and hope for and expect the Lord your God to do what He has said He has done in your life. Amen. There's a story in 2 Kings chapter 18 and 19. It's a story of Hezekiah, king of Judah. And he was boasted as one of the great kings. God even put His mark of approval on King Hezekiah. Well, King Hezekiah went into his kingship, and the first thing that he did is he went and he tore down all the brazen idols, all the shrines that were built to a false god, and he demolished them, and he told the people, we are going to get back to the way we are supposed to living, the way God commanded Moses to share with us. And he expected the people to go into the house and to worship the one true God. Well, come on. When you stand for that, don't you know the enemy? That's when the greatest attack can come, amen? So he's going along and they're living life and they're doing really good and they're prospering, and suddenly the king of Assyria decides, nah, I'm gonna undo Judah. And don't you know that the enemy starts with like the fringe of your life, right? Tries to attack you. And so what happens is the outlying cities of Judah become under attack, and they are and siege is laid against them, and they fall into the hands of King Assyria. And so Hezekiah knows that this king is after Judah. They're next. And so he goes before the Lord. He talks to the prophet Isaiah and he says, please go to the Lord on my behalf. And he goes into the temple, he goes into God's house, and he lays out and he says, look at this letter of what the king of Assyria is trying to do and trying to come against us. And God, through the prophet Isaiah, says to him, no, you're not going to be overtaken by the king of Assyria. I'm going to take care of that king. I'm going to take care of his mighty army on your behalf. Hezekiah trusted. He trusted God's character. He had seen what God had done with the Israelites, bringing them, right? He'd heard of his forefathers. He'd heard of what God had accomplished. So when he became king, he stood on that. He stood firm that God was the God that He said He was, and that He was going to continue to praise and continue to follow, and that he was confident that God was going to come through, and he did. Let's walk confident, knowing that the character of God stands the tribulation, stands the test of times. It stands up against all that the enemy or life would want to bring against you. Amen?
We introduce to you Living Word Virtual Church Community. Each week, we come together during the live stream, chatting with each other through live comment sections. Then, during the week, our virtual church community reconnects in online share groups to discuss the weekend service and study the Word. To sign up, visit the Living Word Virtual Church Community page on our website. We'll see you there.